Hey everybody out there, Evan Chase here. I have a question for you. How are you holding up the past 6 months since coronavirus? How you doing? Um, I've seen a lot of different responses that people are going through, and I'm kind of gonna share a quick reflection. I don't think it's entirely fair because I'm gonna generalize, but I see people dealing with all that's happening, all the craziness in our world, in kind of three general areas. One is I see people looking inward. Their focus is in part because of the isolation. We're looking inward, depressed and discouraged, lonely, disconnected, feeling maybe more lost, and some people even suicidal, and just everything's a fog, and there's nothing clear. I wonder if that's some of you hearing my voice. Other people, I see a hard-heartedness. As things get tough, they're hard in their hearts, and there's a lot of anger, and there's a lot of finger pointing, and there's a lot of blame, and it's everybody else's fault, and there's this clash going on right now, and you see it in the news all across the country, and maybe in your community, and families are fighting, and there's a hardness that is happening in the hearts of many people out there. Is that you today? And there's other people out there that in the midst of this, they're looking up. They're starting to look up, and they're starting to be open to things beyond the flesh and the blood. I had a conversation yesterday with two young ladies who've lived the past almost 20 years, the two of them, in the New Age movement. They've said that they were spiritual, and they did spiritual things, and they believed in energy and the laws of attraction and all these kind of cool things. But the last 6 months, it's like the scales from their eyes are coming off, and they're beginning to see like real evil, and to recognize, wow, if this evil is real, then maybe there's real good, and maybe there's more than just energy, and they're beginning to open themselves up to the God of heaven, and I talk to them about Jesus and the hope for all of us in Jesus Christ. And so maybe you fall into one of these three categories, and if so, I want to invite you, if you're in the South Bay tomorrow, Friday night, every Friday night really, to Torrance, in the south end of the beach. We call it Rat Beach, to come out at 5:30 and join us. No matter where you're at, to come. What are we going to do? We're going to gather. We're going to actually worship the God of heaven on the sands, and point our hearts and our minds to Him, and we're going to put our hope in Him, and we're going to get on our knees in the sand, and we're going to pray, and we're going to cry out to the God of heaven and humble ourselves. And I'm going to talk to you about hope. As all the world, it feels like we're all standing on sinking sand, and everything is soft and foggy and falling apart. I'm going to talk to you about hope in the solid rock of which we can all stand in all circumstances, and have hope in all things. I want to share a message of good news with you tomorrow. And if you don't live in the South Bay, if you don't live in the area and you're hearing my voice, I believe it's a divine appointment. I believe the God of heaven is trying to get your attention. Reach out to me. PM me. Respond to this post. Reach out to me. And let's talk. Let's go deep. What I want you to see is in life, there's a spiritual reality that's probably more real than the physical reality that we all see and feel. And if you're a follower of Jesus Christ, you don't live in the area, would you pray? I want to just rattle the heavens in prayer and intercession for the soul of our nation, for the souls who are going to come to the beach on Friday night, that eyes might be open, that hearts might be open, maybe some for the very first time. These are some of the conversations I'm having with young people and old people and everybody in between, that a united body of Christ would humble ourselves and pray to the God of heaven for the souls of our nation. And specifically, if I could be so selfish and ask that you would pray and intercede for Friday night as we gather in the public square on the beaches of Torrance and appeal to the God of heaven and cry out to the God of heaven, and for the souls of those who are going to hear my voice and hear the worship and the prayers of God's people. And so that's my thoughts for this moment. And I believe if you're hearing my voice and you're watching this video, that God is knocking on the door of your heart. He's knocking on the door of your heart today. You're loved. And if I can be of help in introducing you to the King of the universe, reach out to me. And if not me, God is going to send other believers into your life. And when he does, let that be a confirmation to you in your heart and your mind that the God of heaven is real and that he's pursuing you. He's pursuing you. Turn your life to him. Turn your life to him.